Hello, hello. This is Kristina, digital marketing coach, your host today. And today is a new episode of KSM Podcast, Growing Business Online with Kristina. But today I have such a great opportunity and pleasure to have my special guest speaker, Amy Sanders. Amy, welcome to the new episode of KSM Podcast.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I'm so excited to be here and to collaborate with you and speak to your audience.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk to you, and thank you so much for your time, for your and joining me today on our podcast call. And Amy, can you introduce yourself? Can you tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, and where are you from? There are those three
Yes.
questions, but I think that they are not too hard for you.
No. Of course. So I am a serial entrepreneur and I'm also an avid athlete. And so I run multiple businesses. I love to work out. I love to teach people how to be healthy. And I'm also a mom and a stepmom. So I have, between me and my husband, we have 7 children. So I'm actually a lot of things, but my heart and soul is in entrepreneurship, especially working with women and showing them how they can create the life of their dreams, which a lot of times I end up working with a lot of entrepreneur women who are scared to get started, scared to move forward. And so we do a lot of mindset work around that. And that is probably the most passionate thing that even though I wear a lot of hats, that's the thing that I love doing most. And I live in Utah in America. And yeah, I think I just answered all three. So
Yeah, yes,
a little bit,
and
yeah.
Amy, you're so rich woman because you have 7 kids
Yes.
as a mom and stepmom, and just imagine how many obligation you have to do
Yes.
it, like as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, and mom.
Yeah.
Does that
It
make
is a lot.
sense?
Yes, I wear a lot of hats, and that's why I wanted to start with that because uh as people tune in, and I know that you're growing you're in sales and marketing and helping people grow their business online. And that's one way I'm able to do this. All of these hats is because I'm able to own my time through entrepreneurship. Even though it's busy, I'm able to do everything from the comfort of my own home. From the comfort of my own home. I'm like so excited. I'm talking faster than I need to. So let me just slow down a tiny bit. But um
It's quite enough because we have too much to speak today. And
yeah.
Amy, can you share with us? Did you work in some kind of about your background? Did you work some maybe in corporate space, like maybe before your start your own business journey?
Yeah.
Because
I did a long time ago. So I actually started as a receptionist at an engineering firm, and I was only 18 years old at the time. And it was actually like an amazing job for an 18-year-old. And I saw what other people were doing, and I was like, I can do more than just answer phones. And so within, I think, a year and a half, I had climbed that ladder to be a case file manager. I was running multiple like multi-million dollar cases, working with a lot of or not entrepreneur, a lot of the engineers and helping them. And I loved that sense of like accomplishment. And I loved that I was like 20 years younger than everyone else in the company, like doing similar things. I was like, this is awesome. But some of the people didn't like that, especially some of the women. And at the same time, I had gotten pregnant. And so my life was changing. I wanted to make sure that I was also a mom. I wanted to be able to be at home with my child. And so at that point, I shifted. So I worked with that company for, I think it was 7 years. And then with my, becoming a new mom, I was like, well, what else can I do? If I was able to do that there, what can I do at home? And so that's kind of where it started. And I've worked with a few different companies off and on, but that's where like working at corporate and seeing what that was, but also seeing that like one thing that really bothered me was the pay scale between men and women were totally different. I was like, that doesn't seem right. And then I also didn't like that I had to be somewhere from this hour to this hour. And I was like, why? Like, I would just have those questions like, why is that a thing? Why can't I just get the work done? I was super efficient. I've always been really efficient with my time, which you have to when you're wearing multiple hats, right? So I was like, well, can't I do more in this like shorter period of time, like, and get the same amount done instead of having to work these full 8 hours, So there's a lot of questions that came up. I was like, I think I can just do what I want to do. And so that's where, the entrepreneur bug started. Where, I mean, I started, I think, even younger when I was a kid. I opened up a couple of my own businesses as a kid. But at that point, I just started venturing out and I was into fitness. I was a fitness instructor as well. And so at that point, opened up a boot camp program. I also have opened up a retreat for women and a running. I opened up like 4 things at the same time. A running company where I would like do races. And so that, like, at that point, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, So I played around with that. And then from there, everything has evolved and morphed into different things. And now I still run multiple businesses, coaching being my favorite and the thing that I do the most of, but I've created an amazing lifestyle. My life hasn't just gone up from there. There's been a lot of ups and downs, went through a divorce, remarriage. So, but just learned from all those experiences in order to be where I am today.
Yes, this is fantastic, and when you worked in corporate, you need to go there to be, but I think that, and as I was in corporate maybe for 15 years, and 2010, I started my digital freelance team for the web and graphic design, and after that move into the digital marketing space and other things. It's all of those kind of things in connection. And I travel all around the world in front of my computer because I was thinking, okay, I can sit down in front of my computer or laptop, whatever, and then move and then talk to people. And it's no difference, and today is so very normal to be, work at home, especially
Yeah.
before virus and now. And you have flexible working hours. I mean,
Yeah.
how did you feel that? And when you, and from many of my guest speakers, they share the same story. When they started to be a mom, they decided to start their own business because to work from home as like a homeschooling or something like that, but just they have much more flexible time to be with their kids, family, and run their business.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was me too, within I had my kids really fast. So I birthed 3 and I had them all from the first time, or from the time the first one was born to the third was born, was exactly 4 years to the month. And so I had 3 kids under the age of 4. And it's like, okay, but I have a really big passion for showing women what's possible and being an example of that. And so I'm like, I can be a mom and I can be an amazing mom to these kids while also creating value and a dream life, some like through entrepreneurship. I can do both, and that's not to say that it's not easy, but it's totally doable and it's exciting. It like lights me up to have your hands in so many different things. It's like, so my businesses that I do have, do you want me to talk about what I have currently?
Yes, of course,
Okay.
and by the way, as you mentioned, when you move into this entrepreneurship, we're all entrepreneurs and managers in our family, in our houses
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
mom,
Right.
and then you
Yeah.
can just move and copy it on your business, because everything what you have as obligation, you need to nurture your family and nurture your business and your company, agency, whatever, maybe. Yes, just please share with us what
Yeah.
you currently do. And you mentioned that you run multiple
Yeah. I
businesses.
do. Yes, I do. So, my background essentially was like fitness and health and wellness. So that's where a lot of things started that then morphed into a lot of mindset work and women empowerment. But so I still own and run a dance and fitness studio. So I have like a brick and mortar studio. And then I also have a running company, not a running company, a swimming company. I used to have a running company. I have a swimming company where I have instructors that teach the swim lessons. And so we have different levels of swim. And I just own that and run that. I don't actually teach swim that. So I just manage the whole thing. And then I also have multiple real estate properties, which I manage. And then the thing that I do the very most of is coaching women on all different things, mostly mindset and teaching them how to create a thriving life. And then I guess I didn't mention the fifth one. My husband, I also have some Amazon and Facebook stores that we run as well. So very, very broad. And that's why I'm like, I'm a serial entrepreneur. They're all very different from each other. But ultimately, the goal is to have multiple streams of income and building our portfolio of wealth while also creating like a lifestyle that we can do and be whatever we want and showing women that it's possible. So, yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, those are the different five. So they're very, very different from each other, but they're all things that I do and love to do. So,
And in all those things, all those businesses, you should delegate someone to do it, but also you can manage it. It's
yeah,
not
and that's
easy
very important. Yes.
hard to
And
manage all those things, but you need someone to work with you. Is that
yeah,
correct? Just to delegate and some employees or something like
yes,
that?
that's good. I love that you've mentioned that because that is something that in entrepreneurship, I think we all get in our own way at some point or another where we become the bottleneck in our business. And I was really, really good at becoming the bottleneck to where I wanted to have my hands in all of the things and control all of the things. And it really inhibited my growth and my success until I learned the skill of delegating and learned the skill of realizing that other brains are really helpful to me and other people can do things way better than I can if I'm using their knowledge and their skill set for what they're best at and I focus on what I'm best at, then everybody wins. And so I do have my dance and fitness studio. I have managers and and dance instructors and fitness instructors. And then my swimming company, I have swim instructors and a manager that oversees that. And then my even within my coaching business, I have help within that. You know, I have an assistant and I have other people that help me with that. So, yes, delegating is huge. And it's the lesson that I think has been the hardest for me to learn, but the most important lesson that I needed to get out of my own way in order for more people to be able to be helped. And it's also really empowering that, yeah, I have people that I've created jobs for people. That's amazing. You know, it's like I didn't know that that could be a thing, but yeah, like there's people that are on payroll that are able to bring home money because I had a dream to have a dance studio or to have a swim lesson program or to have a coaching business. And so yeah, like it's there's a lot of like joy that comes through that too. Like this is cool. Like that you can create these things and create these lives and help other people while doing it.
As a so experienced entrepreneur, from as you started as 18, age of 18, and in
Yeah.
corporate sector, another to move into that. So in terms of coaching, you are so experienced manager, business owner, entrepreneur, and in a way, in that way you can coach people how to do it, how to start their own business. And I would love, because the KSM podcast is so dedicated to entrepreneurs who wanted to move, who wanted to start their business and spread the word online in digital space,
Mm.
to grow their business online and research other markets and something like that. But and encourage listeners to start their own business. And you're such amazing guest speaker, just with your knowledge and experience to
Thank
share.
you.
And maybe you will just only one person to influence to start business and work with you. So, Amy, can you share with us about core of your coaching and what listeners and your clients, how they work with you and how they feel after working with you?
Yeah.
Do you work one to one, one to group, and how just what do you coach them? Because it's so
Yeah.
important for our listeners to connect with that and your story.
Well, thank you. First and foremost, everyone who is starting entrepreneurship or maybe you've been going for a while and things haven't worked out for you, I am a huge believer that how you're showing up for yourself and how much you trust yourself is going to either inhibit or help your growth within your business. And so everything that I teach, I do a lot around your personality to make sure that I'm pulling your strengths. Like we figure out exactly what your strengths are and we focus on those. And then we also focus on self-trust and building that self-trust muscle because if you truly don't really believe, say you have something on your heart that you want to believe or you want to build, but you don't truly believe that you're capable, because as you start in entrepreneurship, a lot of times that imposter syndrome really comes out, right? Like you don't think you can, other people are better. Who's going to listen to you? All those things. So we coach a lot on that. So we go pretty deep. And then the other thing that I think that sets me apart when people hire me versus someone else is that I believe that you also need to build your business your way. Of course, there's strategies, and I have a ton of strategies from like the different things that I've built, because everything that I've built is very different from each other, right? But essentially, they're all businesses. And so there's like common ground with business, but you need to build something that's going to work for you, that's going to be unique for you, that's going to totally be you. And so often when we are online and we're looking at different profiles and we're looking at like different people that are successful, we almost start to just try and copy and paste what they're doing, and it doesn't work for us. And you're like, I'm doing what they're doing. How come it's not working for me? And I'm like, well, it's not working for you because you're not speaking your truth. You're not showing up differently. You're not showing up authentically. You're just trying to cookie cut someone else's total platform. And when you do that, there's an energy exchange that's negative. People can feel the difference, and you're not being totally authentic or like fully full of self-trust. And so that's some of the deeper work that we do. But then I also do like include strategy, because there are strategies like, hey, this is what's working. Online, especially, things are always moving, changing, evolving. And so you do need to stay up with like, how do we get the exposure? How do we get the visibility as things change with algorithms and stuff? But ultimately, I'd love to show women, especially, I work especially with women. I do have some male clients, but I love showing women what's possible. I know I keep saying that, but we hold each other back and we hold ourselves back and we try to be small. And like, what if you were all big? Like, what if you stepped up in your power and that dream that's on your heart, instead of like always trying to support the husband? Of course, support the husband, but not at the expense of yourself or the partner, right? It's like support and also show up as you. And when you do that, people feel that. And when they feel that and they feel your heart and they see why you're different, they will be connected to you, and you will have an incredible business that is built your way, that works for you. So every person is different. I think their business is also going to look different. We all have unique geniuses, and most of us don't even know what those are, because you're so used to like what you're good at that you don't even realize that you're good at it. But what if you exposed what you're good at and you focused on that and you amplified that instead of focusing on what you're maybe not so good at? And then you live in that space, like you're going to be able to be so much more powerful and so much more successful. So that's some of the work I do. I do one-on-one coaching, and I do group coaching as well. But yeah, I love that. And so I think you also asked some of the success that some of my clients have had, right? So I love some of the success that my clients have had. I have one client right now that I'm working with. When I started with her, it wasn't about entrepreneurship. It was just like self stuff that she needed to work through. But through working with me, she's like, well, I have always wanted to be a personal trainer. And I'm like, okay, so let's talk about that. And in a few short months, she's only been with me, I think maybe for 5 months. She has completely changed the relationship with her husband. She's changed the relationship with herself and her kids. She's showing up in her power. She has started a job that she was like scared to go back to work. She was just a stay-at-home mom. And now she has started a job that she's loving while also building her online and personal training business. And she's completely thriving. Like her everything she does is on point. She's getting clients, and she's like she's a totally different human. And it's like I look at that and I can be like, oh, I'm so awesome, I helped her. And it's really not about me, right? It's like I give you the tools and I maybe show you some of the things that I see that you're missing, but ultimately it's you showing up. It's like we helped her figure out like the little holes that she kept like tripping up, and like the things that were making her stuck. And now it's like she's killing it, like at her job, at her new business, her relationship, like everything is unfolded. And so that's been super fun. I have another coach that just started coaching. And so she's new, just in this space of coaching, and she already has 5 clients. I've been working with her for, I think, maybe 6 weeks. And so like that kind of stuff, but she's loving it. Like she gets off a call and she reaches out to me. She's like, oh my gosh, this was so amazing. I just had a major breakthrough with my client. And like, so she feels so fulfilled. And my work, I'm like, what I want for myself and for others, my big dream is like, if I'm able to touch you, and then you're able to then go ahead and touch more people who can touch more people, the the growth and like the reach that we can all do together is massive. And we would be able to change, like if women showed up in their power and we're not scared to be paid what they're worth, we're not scared to really speak their voice and show up authentically. I mean, we're so full of love. We're so full of so much good, right? So if we were to truly just own that, how amazing would our world be? And that is my work. I'm like, if I can do that, if I can keep doing that and show that light and give that light to others, then I'm good. Like it's like, then I will feel like I have lived an amazing life because women are incredible. So I applaud them and I love working with them.
Yes, as Bob Proctor said, if I can do it and you can do it, you know, because
Yes, yes,
we need really as a women, uh, we need to be who we are, and we are
yes,
in a good feeling when we show up with all our obstacles, positive characteristics, negative, whatever may be, but we are. If we copy paste someone else, we people you know, our environment just feel that, as you said,
yeah,
because you're so experienced as mom, as entrepreneur, as fitness trainer, coach, whatever, and you can approach the women to discover their power, how they're
yeah,
powerful. But I think that because of that, for all those listeners who will listen to this episode, just connect with Amy. She will help you to discover yourself, to just in terms to, because we need coach, because we have
yes,
all area of genius and we have capacity, but sometimes we are in stuck with that, and we
yeah.
just need someone to open our eyes and show up what we have. And we are all unique, as you said. We are all
Mhm.
unique with different energy.
Yeah. And I love that you said everyone needs a coach because even within my world, so I have achieved a lot of things. Like I have made it to I can say that I'm a multimillionaire, which is still crazy to me, but it's true. It's like I have hit like limits or like little marks that a lot of people dream about hitting. I never thought I could do that. I was like, I wanted to, but I didn't know that I could, right? And so I've hit a lot of goals that are like really big astronomical goals for a lot of people. And I don't say that to like boast. I say that like it's possible. I was a broke single mom just a few years ago, completely broke, and I did not marry money. Me and my husband remarried and we were broke, not remarried each other. I married a new person and we married each other broke and we built this completely dream life. But so now it's like I am a really fit person. I have achieved a lot within my business and I still have a business coach. I still have, I have, so in my personal training life, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in fitness and health. And I also got 30 certifications. Why did I get so many? Because I was one of those that felt like more and more and more and more and more because I had some imposter syndrome, which I love to coach on. But anyway, my whole point is I am a pro in these areas and I still have a coach. I have a health coach, I have a running coach, and I also have a business coach because they are going to see different things that you cannot see. So my coaches point things out. They're like, "Hey, what's going on here? Why didn't you do this?" And the accountability is huge. So, yeah, I'm a huge believer like everyone needs a coach and when you get one that works for you and be picky, like see what feels good, right? But like when you find someone, you're like, hey, this feels like a fit and that energy feels good, they're going to help you go so much farther, so much faster. And that, I mean, that's ultimately why you pay them to do what they do, right? My running coach helped me hit a goal of qualifying for the Boston Marathon. That was amazing. Now, if I would have had to come up with all my own running stuff, like would I have hit that? I don't know. But she helped me, you know? My business coach shows me blind spots all the time. That's amazing. And so, same with my health coach. I don't have to think about what I eat because she just says, this is what you're eating. And I'm like, okay. So, it makes my life also easier because I don't have to like think about more things. So, yeah, it's so important to have a coach and they help you. It's been a life changer for me. So I preach it.
And coach or mentor, whoever may be.
Yeah.
But yes, this is so important that we don't have and don't think about what I'm going to eat today, how I'm because and we have no boundaries. I mean, because we
Right.
can achieve whatever we want
Hmm.
on regular basis because I cannot say that I can go to the other planet. Maybe I don't know at the moment, but this is so
Right.
true because we are human being and we really deserve and we have such a good potential, but we need to discover it and work with someone who will
Yeah.
help us to achieve that goal. And
Yeah.
Amy, can you who how people can reach out to you? How can do you have such a maybe freebie or something like that? Your
Yeah.
maybe some ebook or whatever from because from your own multiple businesses what you want to
Yes.
but I love for coaching part for our listeners, especially for ladies who want to
Hmm.
start business maybe or who are in stock or have some kind of their own obstacles and they need to connect with you and you can just help them in simple conversation to just to discover their selves where they are in stock maybe or something like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Probably the easiest, there's two ways that are the easiest ways to get a hold of me, and you can also download some of my free guides just from going to these sites. So the first one is just my website, which is amysanders.co. So amysanders.co. And the other one on Instagram, I'm Coach Amy Sanders. I also believe I'm Coach Amy Sanders on LinkedIn, but those are the easiest ways. And if you go to my profiles, if you go to my website, there'll be a pop-up where you can get a free guide, and then there's also some free stuff on my Instagram too, if you want to go through some of those little workbooks and workshop different things that I offer for free. You can go there and yeah, connect with me. There's ways to connect with me there too. So I would love to help anyone that's interested. It's like, hey, I think this girl might be able to help me. We can jump on a quick intro call or something. But yeah, ultimately, I want anyone and everyone to just do what's on their heart and live into that, like that dream that they keep thinking, could this happen for me? I'm telling you, it totally can.
It doesn't matter what industry there are, ages, ladies, you
Mm-mm.
and most you the focus is on women to work
I do focus.
mostly.
I will say I do work with men. I am selective with which men I choose. Just because my heart is with the women, I love showing them what they can achieve and what they can do. And so, men, I think men are great, like in the fact that they talk to each other about money. It's like not an issue. Men also like don't like have a lot of hangups when it comes to just like really putting themselves out there. They haven't been like shushed as much as women and like I just like I like getting rid of these like roles that we have to play and showing women that you don't have to play those. Like you get to choose how you live your life. And so yeah, I do work with men, but I do mostly work with women
Yeah,
and
and I
they can
worked
come out and
with
find me.
men, but mostly work with women. And
Yeah.
Amy, before we ramp up our call today,
Yeah.
I had asked you many questions, but we will connect again in our around our next episode this year.
Yeah.
I'm big believer in that. And what is the message? I always ask my guest speakers, what would be the message for women specifically who wanted to
Yeah.
start business or who are in stock or have business idea or want to shift their business or whatever may be to move into entrepreneurial journey
Hmm.
for women
Um,
as a
I think
message and
it's
courage for them.
Yeah, I think it's two part. First of all, it's like a quote that I love to just quote all the time, and I probably will until I die. And that is that the cave you fear holds the treasure you seek. A lot of times when we're stuck or we don't want to move forward or don't want to shift, it's because we're scared. And we just because we don't know, right? When you go into that dark cave, you don't really know what's on the inside. But what if it's like the most beautiful treasure? You don't know until you go in there. And so I would say go through the cave. The cave you fear holds the treasure you seek, and the last part is if it is on your heart, that is your soul talking to you, telling you that you can build it, you can do it. That is your soul saying, I want this and we got this. So move into that self trust and believe it can be possible for you because it absolutely can. If it's on your heart, go after it. You can do it.
That's fantastic. Amy, what I to the end of our call today. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
You share such amazing story, very educational as a experienced entrepreneur, mom, manager, coach, business owner. You know, it was lovely. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and
Oh, thank
I
you.
learned a lot from you, to be honest. And I would love to continue to see you in one of my next episodes, to
Well,
continue
perfect.
talking on
Yeah.
in a way about business leadership, whatever. So you're
Yeah.
so experienced in that.
I would
Yeah.
love to. Thank you so much. And thank you again for having me. I've really appreciated the opportunity.
Thank you so much, and see you very soon, and have fantastic day, and regards to you and your family and your business teams and your
Thank you. You
thank you
too.
so much, and bye for now.
Bye.